Identify the ordered pair of each point. I'm going to do number 6, which is point F. Keep in mind we write the parentheses and the comma in the middle. We start with the x-axis. So from the origin, I needed to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, which is positive. And then I need to go down 2, which is negative. You're always going to go in the x direction first, so left and right first, then in the y direction up and down. Use the integers -4 to 4 to write ordered pairs of 4 points so that each point is in a different quadrant. Use the integer at most 1 time. So we have the coordinates in this first quadrant. It is positive, positive. In the second quadrant, we go left first and then up. So left is negative and up is positive. Again, left is negative, but down is also negative. This time we go right first, which is positive, and then down, which is negative. So in quadrant 1, we need 2 positive numbers, like 3 and 2. Remember, we can only use the numbers -4 through 4 here. In quadrant 2, we need a negative number and then a positive number. I've already used 2 and 3, so I'm going to use the number 4. In quadrant 3, I need 2 negative numbers. I already used -1, so I can use -4 and -3. And then in quadrant 4, I need a positive number. I've used 2, 3, and 4, so I can still use +1. Then I need a negative number. I've used -1, -3, and -4, so I have to use the number -2 there, since that's the only one I haven't used. I can't use a 0, even though it's in between -4 and 4, because that would put me on the axis, and I want to be in the different quadrants. Write the ordered pairs of the points from problem 1. Describe the location of each point from the origin. So we're going to go back to problem 1 and rewrite down those coordinates using these 4 points again. For the location section of this table, we are writing the way in which you would move to get to those. So this is right 3 and up 2, right 3, up 2, this would be left 1 and up 4, left 1, up 4. This one would be left 4 and down 3, left 4, down 3. This one would be right 1 and down 2, right 1, down 2. These first ones always tell us left and right, and then the second values tell us up or down. Use the ordered pairs from parts A through F to plot and label the points in the coordinate plane. Indicate the quadrant in which each point is located. So instead of rewriting the coordinates, I'm going to write the letter A next to the point. The first one tells us left and right. Since it's positive, we're going to go right 7. The second value tells us up and down. 3 is positive, so that's up 3. And this is in quadrant 1. We use Roman numerals, so it's going to be the letter I. B. Again, left and right first. Positive 3 is right 3. The second number tells us up and down. Since it's negative, we're going down 9. And that is point B, which is in quadrant 4, labeled with IV. This one says left 5 because it's negative, and the second number tells us up or down. It's a positive, so we're going up 3. That is in quadrant 1, 2. The negative 2 tells us left 2. The positive 6.5 tells us up 6.5. Here's 6. 6.5 is between 6 and 7. That is point D, also in quadrant 2. This one is left and down. Left 2 and down 6.5, which is between -6 and -7 for point E, which is in quadrant 1, 2, 3. And then we have point F. That is left 8.5 and then down 1 in quadrant 3 also. Here these points are on the axes. You can see these two are on the y-axis and these two are on the x-axis. What do you notice about the points on the x-axis? That second number, or the y-coordinate, is a 0 if it's on the x-axis. If it's on the y-axis, the first number is a 0. So the x-coordinate is 0 if it's on the y-axis. Plot at least 5 points on the x-axis. Write the ordered pairs of the points from part A. I have -6, 0 for this point here. This would be -4, 0. This one is -1, 0. Here I have 2, 0 and 5, 0. Now we need points on the y-axis. This one is 0, 6. I go 0 to the left or right, so 0 is the first number. And then the next one is at 5. 0 in the left or right and up 2. 0 down 2. And 0 down 5. For parts A through C, consider the star map that shows the location of some stars in the Ursa Major constellation. So we have little X's to indicate where those stars are. Determine the ordered pairs of the points that represent the location of the stars on the star map. So A, that is 2 right, 3 down. B, 2 left and 1 up. C, 5 left, so -5, and 3 up. D, that is left 7 and up 1, 2.5. E, That is left 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. So left 2 is negative 2, down 5.5 is negative 5.5. F is left a half and down 2. And G is right a half and up 1, 2.5. The table shows the ordered pairs for the points of the given and that give the approximate locations of more stars in the Ursa Major constellation. Plot and label the points. They aren't written in my book, but they should be written in yours. And you are going to plot and label those points on the grid provided. So the coordinates should all be listed here in the table in your book, and we're going to go back and graph them, adding them to this grid here. H goes at the point 6, 3. That is 6 to the right and 3 up. I is 4, 0. That is 4 to the right and 0 up. J is 0, 1. So 0 left and right and 1 up. Oh, that one's J. K is negative 2.5. So 2.5 to the left and up 2. L, negative 4, so left 4, and then up 2.5. M is 6 to the right, negative 1.5. That's M. N, negative 2.5, so negative 1, negative 2.5, down a half, and that is point N. This last part, C, says to connect the points in the given order to show the Big Dipper. So we are starting with point D, and we are headed to point C. So DC, then C gets connected to L, L gets connected to K, K gets connected to point B, B gets connected to J, J gets connected to G, and G gets connected back to K. So you can see the Big Dipper, also known as Ursa Major. Here's that sketch again. Make sure that your workbook is filled in with all the points and tables, and that your warm-up is completed in your composition book.